Welcome to Yogaroo Online. And this week we're going to work with, and this is our Move and Restore session 1, we're going to work with a lovely bit of heart opening. So just a lovely way that the sun is shining. It's a lovely way to kind of uncurl our shoulders and really accept the lovely summer days and feel the nice upright spine and just walk around with a lot more confidence and pep to your step when your chest is nice and broad and open. So just to get started, I want to, if you can come to a comfortable seated position. So what I have there, I'm going to come sideways so you can see what I'm doing with my spine. I'm just sitting on 2 bricks. So grab whatever, just make sure, preferably kneeling if you can. If the knees don't like this, come to a cross-legged position. But I find with kneeling, I can get that upward position in the pelvis a lot more than I can with my legs crossed, but you might be different. Another way to come to a comfortable cross-leg is to literally straddle. This one I find very comfy as well. It's just to straddle your bolster. So when you've found your comfortable upright position, I'm going to demo it and you are going to maybe have a look as well and do what I'm doing. With heart opening, we're really like trying to focus on this part of the chest here. So heart opening, chest opening, shoulders back and down. Not really tugging them, but just a natural kind of rolling back and down. Everything is soft. We're not like forcing them back. It's rolling them back and down, feeling this lovely, the smile through the collarbones there, the lovely stretch through the skin. So what I want you to have a look at is seeing, can you find your lowest rib there with your thumb, and see, can you find your hip bone or somewhere around there? You don't have to, if you can't find it, that's okay. Your hip bone with your index finger, and do the same on the other side. So what I'm trying to get you to have a look at here is keep in mind the connection or the relationship between that hip bone and the lowest rib. So what we are looking for in our heart opening is a lift through the spine and a rolling of the shoulders back and down, and a little maybe tilt the head back, but we don't want the head to really crane back. So almost like a slight tuck of the chin to kind of keep the neck from going too far back. So a slight tuck of the chin as it extends up and back. We're looking for this connection to stay relatively similar. So just to demo what rib flaring might look like, or not particularly rib flaring, but more the idea of that upper body opening versus a back bend. Okay, so we're not really doing a back bend class, we're doing upper chest opening, a little micro bend in the upper back. But I want you to keep this connection between this lowest rib and the hip bones relatively stable. How you will do that is with awareness, but also with core work. So thinking again, we've done core work before, this 360 wrap around the center of your spine there, of your core. So engaging the core, drawing your navel in towards your spine and feeling a sense of it supporting the back and not letting it come too much into flexion or extension there. So again, let's look at it again. Little micro tuck of the chin, shoulders back and down, and then a tilt back, as opposed to this kind of thing where I've come into a very strong back bend. And I've felt the complete lack of connection between these two, which is what you're looking for in a back bend, but not what we're looking for today. Okay, so I'll remind you again through the class, this up and back rather than up and back. Okay, hopefully that will help you. So I'll bring you back to this idea of keeping this bit a little stable as we come into our back bends, just to remind you. Okay, starting on all fours. If you have bricks, grab them. They'll be helpful for you to open up the chest in your cat-cows. I find with a little bit of lift underneath the hands there, you can find a lovely opening through the front of the chest there. So with or without them, come onto all fours, stack those shoulders over wrists, the hips over the knees there. Let's just take an inhale here and an exhale in our neutral position. And then we're going to inhale and let the belly soften down towards the ground. Again, look for this opening through the chest. Yes, you're going to have a little bit of a back bend there, but focus your attention on the chest area here. The broadening through the collarbones, the heart center shining forward to the top of your mat there. And then exhale. So we're coming into the pose and then a little counter pose for this in our cat pose. So the spine lifts up towards the ceiling. You feel your shoulder blades spread across your back and you're curling in. And then inhaling, let the belly soften. Shine that chest forward, the heart center. And then exhale, lift your spine up towards the ceiling. Do one more round then, just to start to feel that connection with the area that we're working with today. Inhale, soften the belly down towards the ground. Feel that lovely length through the spine. Feel the collarbones widen, smile. And then exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Okay, so walk the knees back a little bit. We're going to come into puppy dog, our heart opening pose. So with or without the bricks under the hands. Bricks under the hands will bring it a little bit more intensely. So maybe try it without first. And then start to drop your head down towards the ground. So lots of options here. This is quite a strong opening through the chest and the armpits there. So you can take your bricks off the mat and come down. And if the head is still hovering here, you pop one of your bricks underneath your forehead. So loads of different versions for this, still all lovely chest opening poses. So here, whatever version you've come into, find that lovely stretch again through the front of the chest and also feel it kind of growing up towards the underneath the armpits there. So lovely opening through the whole front of the chest there. Press into the hands to come up. Pop the brick out of the way if you had one there. Pivot, or not pivot, step your knees together just for balance now. Inhale, reach that right leg away from you. Bring your fingertips just to the left side of your head there. And then we're going to open up to the left side. Okay, so try to keep those hips level there. Nice little bit of chest opening there. On your exhale, you're going to bend that right knee, reach your right hand or your left hand towards the fingers or to the foot. They may not touch, that's okay. Think again, less about your attachment. Okay, bring the hands down now for your exhale. Less about your attachment to what I'm doing and you mirroring what I'm doing, more about the opening of the chest. So if you find that raising the leg up and doing it just a little bit too much for your balance, do this version, fingertips to the ear, open the chest, and then reach the arm back, okay? It's just chest opening that we're looking for. We're adding a little bit of balance there, just optional. Okay, we'll do the other side now. So pop the bricks underneath your hands if you have them or if you liked that addition. Inhaling here, opening through the chest. Let the belly soften towards the ground. Exhale, roll the spine up towards the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades spread across your back there. Inhaling, softening, reaching forward with the chest. And exhaling. Inhale last time. Really feeling the movement through the upper spine as we open the chest and exhaling, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Walk the knees back a little bit with or without your bricks or with the brick underneath your head, whatever version suits you. Walk the fingertips forward. Now here we're looking for the hips to be over the knees so that you have a little bit of space to reach the hips back, to increase that stretch or to add to the benefits of that stretch around the chest and the armpits there, as opposed to having the knees further in and reaching them back. You just don't get as much of a stretch through the chest there. Okay, and then coming up on your inhale, this time you're going to reach your left leg back if you're adding the leg, right fingertips to the right ear, open to the right side here on your inhale, and then exhale, bend the left knee, reach the fingertips to the left foot there, and then inhale to reach out again, and exhale, coming back down to all fours. Okay, so that's the warm-up section of our flow, which we'll come back to in a minute as we go through our two flows. We're just going to run through a sun salutation with a little bit of a chest opening as well. So step the left foot forward, up onto the fingertips, step right foot forward, fold down, knees deeply bent here. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. So a little note on the feet here. And as we come into our standing section of our flow, press into your feet, but really feel the difference between just the idea of being told to press and actually pressing. So as you press, feel the activity. And maybe even as you walk, as you go through your flow, notice the difference between when you forget to press into your feet and then you remember to press into your feet and the action, the energy that that brings through your pose. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down, bend in the knees if you need to. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, folding down, step the right leg back, right knee comes down. Inhale, reach the arms up high, bring the arms into cactus position. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot, step it back to downward dog. Inhale, reach forward to plank. Exhale, knees come down and chest and chin come down behind the thumbs there, hips high. Inhale, slides you forward to baby cobra, and exhale, presses you back to downward dog. Now you can come to this from all fours if you want. We'll skip the downward dog for this one. So next one, inhale, step the right leg forward, left leg forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. So just at the end there, I changed the formation of the stepping forward in the sun salutation so that we're coming to it from all fours rather than downward dog. Just makes it a little bit more accessible for all. Next side now, inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding now, bend in the knees. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach that chest forward, find your nice broad collarbones. Exhale, folding down, step left leg back. Inhale, reach the arms up, coming into cactus, breathe. Exhale, hands down, step it back to downward dog. Inhale, reach forward to plank. Exhale, knees come down, chest and chin, hug those elbows in, use the strength of the arms to control you. Inhale, slides you forward to baby cobra, open through the chest there, another little back bend, and then exhale, presses you back to all fours. Inhale, step left leg forward, step right leg forward, exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, we'll start now with our first standing flow. So we'll make our way down to the ground first, do our little warm up, and then come into it from standing. Inhale, reach the arms up high, exhale, folding down, and then just stepping back to all fours and getting into our starting position. We'll leave the bricks out of this one. We're coming into our cat cows. We'll leave the bricks out just so that we can flow more fluidly with the breath here. Now remembering that contact between, or the relationship between that lowest rib and your hip bone there. Obviously, you're not going to be able to look for it with your fingertips, but just have an idea of using the strength of your core to control the over flexion in the back there. Okay, inhale for cat or cow. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back to all fours, and then exhale, step the knees back, fingertips forward for one breath into heart opening pose. Inhale, back to all fours, reach the right leg back, fingertips to the left, and then exhale, reach that left hand to the foot. Inhale to reach again, and exhale back to all fours. Inhale, step the left leg forward, step right leg forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, press your hands into your knees there. Peel those shoulders back and down. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, press, reach, open. And exhale, step your left leg back, nice and wide, left and right on your mat. Get the legs ready for high lunge, reach the fingertips back. Inhale, reach the arms up high. So here, remembering the formations of the alignment in our high lunge, we're looking for these hip bones to lift up. And again, it's this relationship between this lowest rib and the hip bone. We don't want the pelvis to be tilted forward by pressing too much through that heel. So a little bend in that knee is always good. Now check this again. Inhale, reach the arms up high, and exhale into your cactus position. So here we are, we're opening the chest here. We're not coming into a great big back bend. You're feeling that lovely stretch across the skin of your chest here. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, bring your right hand to the back of your left thigh, reach that left arm up and come into cactus position. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. Exhale, pivot to the left side of your mat, coming into goddess pose with cactus arms. And then inhale, reach again and pivot to the front of your mat. And then exhale, we're going to come down to all fours again. Okay, so that's your full flow. We come up into high lunge, we do our cactus arms, then we do one arm, we come into goddess with cactus, and then we come down to all fours. So we'll do the same thing on the second side. I'll pause a little bit maybe if we find a pose that we want to find the real chest opening there. Okay, so inhale, step the legs forward, exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midspine in prayer position. Okay, so left side. We're going to come down to the floor to start our pose. Inhale, exhale, folding down, and then step the legs back, find our way into all fours. Okay, starting with our cat-cow, and then we take it to our leg stretch on the left side. Inhale here, soften the belly, reach the chest forward, find that lovely smile to the collarbones. Exhale, lift the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back to all fours, and exhale, walk the knees back, hands forward, coming into your heart opening pose. Inhale, come back to all fours, knees together. Reach the left leg away now, fingertips to the left ear, open to the side. Exhale, bend that left knee, reach the fingertips to the left foot, but remembering it's about opening the chest there rather than particularly getting involved with whether your hand is touching it. And then exhale, inhale, sorry, always forget this one. Inhale, reach again, and then exhale back to all fours again. Let's keep going. Inhale, step the feet forward to the top of your mat, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Now, second side for the standing part of the flow. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, reach the chest forward. Let's pause here for a few breaths because I love this pose. It's such a simple pose, but it really does a huge amount of chest opening here, regardless of whether your legs are straight or bent. I have tight hamstrings, so I always need a little bit of a bend in my knees. You press your hands into your knees there. So palms really pressing into your knees. And remembering that cue that I gave you at the start of the class, shoulders reaching back and down and feeling that lovely opening through the collarbones, the shoulders reaching back and down, skin across the chest stretching and broadening. Exhale, folding down. And then inhale, actually missed a pose there. So inhale back to where we were. Exhale, we're going to step our right leg back now, coming into our lunge position with the legs. So make sure that you're nice and wide on your mat there now. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Again, remembering little bend in that back knee if you need it. Maybe have a little check to see what's happening with this last rib and that hip bone there. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale the arms into cactus position. So it's like you're trying to reach your shoulders up and over a bar, which is just at the top here behind your shoulders. So we're not reaching through a bar that's low down. Remembering this is about opening through the chest and not bringing it into a series of back bends. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. And then exhale, this time reach the left hand to the back of the right leg or the back of the left hip, whatever suits your twist. Bring that right arm into cactus position here now. Let's pause here for a breath or two. Breathing through the right lungs there. Feel that lovely stretch through the right side of the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. I'll pivot around so I don't have my back to. And then exhale, we're going to come into goddess pose. So you've pivoted to the side of your mat there, and we're just bending both knees at a 45-degree angle, arms in cactus position. Let's pause here now. So looking again for that relationship between the hip bone and the lower rib, maybe bringing your hands to it to check it. Inhale, reach the chest up, shoulders lift back and down as you bring your arms into cactus position. Or it might feel nicer to have the arms out straight if cactus position is a little bit too much on the shoulders. For any of these poses, arms out straight will do exactly the same thing. Maybe even palms facing towards the side of your mat feels nice and opening for the chest rather than palms facing down. Okay, inhale, pivot around to the front of your mat again now. And exhale, back down to all fours, hands either side the front foot, coming back to all fours. Okay, great, we've time for another flow. Okay, come all the way down to the ground now. Again, we're going to try a little bit of back bending or chest opening through a back bending pose. So again, remembering this is about opening through the chest here. So optional to keep the legs down for this one. We're coming into Shavasana, but if you want to really help yourself to find the upper part of the pose, by all means, keep the legs down in this one. So I'll demo it with the legs down, but you can decide yourself. So let's bring the arms into cactus position, either side of your chest there. And again, if cactus position is too much for your arms in the lift, you can reach the arms back either side of the body. I'll demo cactus. On your next inhale, press your pubic bone, the tops of your feet into the ground and lift the arms up. Now feeling for the softness in your breath here. So continuing to breathe and making sure that you are not using a puffed out belly to lift you up. So there is an engagement through the core there and a lift through the pelvic floor. It's kind of hard for me to use when I'm talking, but I know from experience, it's this cinching in through the waist and the lifting through the pelvic floor so that you're not using the kind of volume of the belly to lift you up. You're using strength. And then exhale, hands either side of your chest, elbows hugged in, lift yourself up and back to all fours. Okay, we're going to start into our next standing flow again. Let's see, yes, great. Okay, we'll do our warm up as well at the start of each one. So inhale to cat or cow, exhale to cat. Inhale back to all fours, exhale, walk the knees back, arms forward, reaching down and just letting your head gently touch the floor there. Inhale to come back up to all fours, reach the left leg away, bring in right leg away, right side first, right leg away, bring in the fingertips to the left ear, open to the left there. Bend that right knee, reach the fingertips back. They don't have to touch, we're opening through the left chest there. And then exhale back to all fours again. Inhale, step the legs forward. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reach the arms, or bring the fingertips to your knees, reach the chest forward. Exhale, step that left leg back, arrowhead. Inhale. Now, listen carefully. You're going to plant that left foot now. Circle your right arm up and over and sneak your way into reverse warrior. And then exhale, you're going to come into warrior. So let's take a pause here now. Maybe even play around with your feet if you like to have your front heel aligned with your back arch, or it can be wider for balance if you like that way. Making sure that this front knee does not overshoot that front ankle. So it doesn't matter how high you are or how low you are, just as long as you check that this knee is lining with the ankle so that you're keeping the integrity of that joint there and that it's not overshooting the ankle because that puts too much strain on the front of the knee joint there. Let's do this opening of the hands towards the side of your mat again, just to find that extra opening through the stretch there, or the chest there. Okay, inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, bring the hands behind your back and clasp your hands. Inhale to reach, and then exhale into our little chest opening there. Again, I'm not dropping into my lower back there. I'm really just stretching the shoulders And using the clasp of the hands, if you can clasp your hands, otherwise just reach the fingertips to help to draw those shoulders back and down and feel that lovely stretch through the chest there. Let's stay here for a few breaths. So see, can you really soften your neck here? You maybe even bring in a little bit of movement into your neck, left to right. And just making sure that we're not over pulling at any of the muscles on our neck there. Little tuck of the chin there will lengthen out some of the muscles at the back of our neck there, which is nice. They're the ones that I find can be a bit headachy. Okay, one more inhale here, and then exhale, keeping the hips squared to the side of your mat. You're going to hinge forward almost to the left corner of your mat there. Keep the chest open. So if you start to close through the shoulders, just come back up a little bit. So you don't have to come down far at all here. And then inhale to come up, reach the arms up high again. Exhale, pivot to the front of your mat, hands either side of that front foot and stepping it back to all fours. Okay, so that's our second little flow there. We'll start from standing again and, we're going to start from our all fours and to go through the second side for that one. So inhale into cow, I got it right this time. And exhale brings the spine up into cat. Or no. Inhale back to all fours and exhale, just step the feet back or the knees back, arms forward, letting the head just touch the floor there for 1/2 breath. Inhale, back to all fours again, reach the right leg away now. Left leg away, keep the hips nice and squared. Fingertips to the left, the right ear there, and then open up to the side. Exhale, bend the knee, reach the right arm back, touch or not, open through the right side of the chest there. Inhale to reach again, fingertips to the head, and then exhale back to all fours. Inhale, step the left leg forward, step the right leg forward, exhale, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Okay, last standing flow. Left side, inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, coming up halfway, taking 1 or 2 breaths here. Always good to stay in this pose when you're going through, particularly your sun salutations early in the morning. Open the chest up for the day. And exhale, we're going to come into arrowhead on the left side now. So stepping your right leg back. So left leg is forward. I'm going to come to the back of my mat now so you can see me. Inhale, ground that right foot now. Reach the left fingers up and over. So coming into your reverse on the left leg side. And exhale back into our warrior. Let's take a few moments here in our warrior. Check in with that front leg. Move your feet if you like to have front heel to back arch alignment, making sure that you're either up here or you're down here, regardless of where you are, that knee is lovely and aligned with the ankle and it's not overshooting the ankle joint. Palms facing towards the side of your mat. Let's have a look at palms facing down and then palms facing the side of your mat. So just notice why we're doing what we're doing. So this is fine, yes, that's warrior, but we're looking at chest opening today. So this feels incrementally a little bit wider through the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up high now. And exhale, interlace the hands behind your back. One more inhale here to lengthen. And then exhale, just start to gently come up with the shoulders lifting back and down into our chest opening there, heart opening. So if you saw me from the side there, I'll just change my leg arrangement so you can see me. I'm not coming into this, I'm coming into this. So it's lovely, a little bit more subtle in its movement, but lovely chest opening. Again, if the hands don't interlace easily, if you're just reaching the fingers back. One more breath, inhale here, exhale, keeping those hips squared to the side of your mat. Start to hinge over to the top corner of your mat there, keeping the chest nice and open. So if you start to roll forward, then you know that you need to come up a little bit Have a little glance at that front knee now. Make sure that as you come deeper into the pose, it hasn't overshot or just fallen in or out to the side. Inhale, reach the arms up high again. And exhale, hands either side of the front foot, stepping it back to all fours. We'll come down to the mat one more time. We're on our way down towards our restorative part. And we'll take 1 or 2 rounds of the full body Shavasana now just to feel the stretch, because we've really concentrated in this upper back bend to give the chest opening. Let's just go into a lovely full body expression of back bend here in our Shavasana. So reach the fingertips back towards your feet there. Inhale, lift the legs, lift the heart center, press into the pubic bone, remembering cinching that waist in. So remembering the relationship with your breath, lift the pelvic floor. So you internally rotate those legs so that they're not opening out to the sides. So the heels are kind of can be coming towards each other a little bit, legs hip distance apart. Reaching towards the back of your mat with your toes and your fingertips, reaching towards the front of your mat with the top of your head there now. Breathing for 1, breathing for 2, and one last breath, coming all the way down. Placing the forehead on your stacked hands there and just taking a breather and congratulating yourself. Getting ready for your well-earned restorative part of the practice. Okay, so we're restoring now. We don't need to take too much of a breath there. So hands either side of your chest. Lift yourself up to all fours. Just come to sit on your left hip. Swing the legs forward and find your way down onto your back for constructive rest. So constructive rest being kind of like, not bridge pose, but on your way to bridge pose. It's the knees are knocked in together, the feet are mat distance apart, palms are reaching up towards, are not reaching up, they're facing up towards the ceiling. So just the most energy efficient way to lie on your back with the knees bent and the feet planted. And just starting to connect with your breath there now. And in connecting with your breath, seeing, can you encourage it to become a little gentler? Easing into the restorative, nerve balancing, parasympathetic part of your practice. And feel those little movements throughout your body that you have created through being active, which is great. Like I can certainly feel my circulation going. I can feel my heartbeat a little bit more louder or kind of more animated in my chest. So all these great things is more of the benefits of moving on your mat and getting into a good routine with your practice. Okay, so just walk your feet hip distance apart. Let's just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. So nothing fancy here. We're literally just letting the knees drop from left to right, as much as feels comfortable for you, being gentle. We haven't done a very twisty class, but certainly this will add a little bit of stretch through the whole spine there. It should feel nice and soothing for the legs as well and the back of the hips. And when you're ready, rolling over to your right-hand side, left arm helps lift you and finding your way to a seated position. Okay, so our first pose is going to be a nice chest opener. So what you're going to get is a 4-fold blanket. So this is a blanket that I've just folded in 4. And then you're going to fold it over one more time, so that you have a long blanket there. Okay, so have the tassels at the end of your mat there. You don't want them in your way. And then you're just going to roll the blanket up. I'd say only about 1 or 2 times, because often it doesn't take much to get a lovely opening through the chest there. Okay, so you might need to just press that down to make sure it doesn't unravel or keep your hand on it. So we're going to come down onto our backs. Now the position of that roll is at the tip of your shoulder blades there. You want about 2 fingers between where the blanket is and your armpit. That's how I know kind of that it's sitting at the tip of my shoulder blade. So if you see there where it is in relation to my arm, I've about two fingers between the roll and my armpit there. So the reason why we have it on a nice narrow roll here is because it gives a bit of space for the shoulders to drop down towards the ground there, and gives a nice extra little bit of opening through the front of this shoulder joint here, which is lovely. So options for the legs, your feet can be planted on the ground if that feels good for your back, or you can lengthen the legs out. Okay, so get your legs ready there, and then I'll give you lots of options for the arms as well. So the arms can be in cactus position, which will be the kind of strongest opening through the chest there. Or the arms can be reached out in a T shape with the palms up would be good, because I remember from our warrior, we found that the palms facing forward gave us a little bit more chest opening. And if that still doesn't feel great, just bring the arms down with a bit of space between your body and your arms. So you'll notice that incrementally, the more you take your arms down towards the sides, you're kind of losing a little bit through the chest opening, but you're still getting chest opening. So I'm going to go with the arms in T shape. I think we've had lots of lovely chest opening. I don't feel I need the cactus arms. By all means, bring your arms into cactus position. So really feel that lovely stretch through the skin across your chest bones there. Can you feel or ask even your shoulders to melt down towards the ground? And just even having that little bit of a conversation with them helps them to soften. Often we hold tension in parts of our body, and until we kind of notice them, it just stays there habitually. But sometimes when we notice, then we can actually, through our conscious control over the muscles, encourage them to relax. Really feel the expansion of the breath here through the top of the breath. So that's the chest. Even though the breath is in the chest and the belly, feel for the breath in the rib cage here. Feel the mass expansion of the ribs on your inhale. And then the ribs drawing together on your exhale. And can you lengthen your breath here a little bit? Maybe not quite as much as a 6 or an 8, but maybe just even a nice gentle 4 counts inhale and 4 counts exhale. Mouth closed, breathing through the nose. And if you're familiar with it, the idea maybe of adding ujjayi breath, that breath, the kind of sound at the back of your throat there, like you're breathing on glass with your mouth closed. Now bring your attention to the muscles in your face, across your forehead. And is there anywhere you need to consciously soften? Can you find space between the temples? The eyes are soft in their sockets. A little bit of space between the jaw. Tongue pressing on the top palate of your mouth. Trace the journey of the breath here through your nostrils, the cool air on the inhale and the warm air on the exhale. Maybe even following the breath further down into the soft palate at the back of your throat, down into your lungs, expanding through the rib cage, lifting the belly up, and then vacating the belly. Rib cages contract. Warm air on the back of the soft tissue of the throat. Warm air where you can feel its temperature just on the inside of the nostrils. Okay, so we'll get ready now to move into our next pose. So just gently bending the knees up, rolling over to your right-hand side, coming off your blanket there, and coming into a seated position. So for the next pose, I'm going to demo it without the blanket, but you are going to use a folded blanket. So you're going to take your blanket into a 4-fold, and then you're going to fold it over again. So it's a kind of a long shape there. Now you are going to bring your bricks into the medium height. So that's your medium height at the top of your mat there, and your lowest height. So this, I'm going to bring you into restorative fish pose. So any of you who are familiar with it, this is fish pose. And we are going to take it into restorative fish pose using bricks. So this is a lovely one. It's a chest opener, and it also, this brick here sits just at this curve at the back of your skull there, the occipital curve, and it feels lovely. It's a pressure point, so it feels lovely to have the brick pressing into that area there. Okay, so you are going to pop a blanket over your bricks there, like this. So you have a little bit of padding coming down on it, which I will do in a second, but I just want you to see where the bricks are coming onto the back of my head and onto underneath my shoulders before I put the blanket on, so you can see where they are. Okay, so just gently coming down. So coming into a seated position, the knees bent, and then just using your arms to help you come down. So again, this brick is sitting just on the tips of your shoulder blades there. And then this brick is going to sit just at that lovely curve at the back of your skull there now, or in a position that you can find where it feels it's going to be stable. So it's kind of sitting just at the back of your skull, not where the skull dips down, otherwise that'll kind of push the brick back. Okay, so hopefully you can see where those two bricks are. Raise the arm up so you can see where that one is again. I can't quite feel for where it is, but it's about 2 fingers from my shoulder blades. Okay, so this is your position. Knees can be bent if that feels better for your lower back there, or you can have the legs straight. Okay, so I am gonna just take it into my version with the blanket as well. So the blanket just adds a little bit of softness. The bricks can be a bit hard. So again, feeling for that lovely breath through the chest there. Now our second version here, so really letting those shoulders soften down and back. So can you feel for that little pressure point, or what kind of sensations that you feel into the back of the skull there? And notice what a lovely opening you can get with simple props. So just 2 bricks can bring you into such a lovely chest opening position. Anytime the mind wanders, bring yourself back to your breath. And also, I find those back to the sensations of those little micro muscles in your face just help you to come back to your practice, come back to your breath, and let any little thoughts just drift by. Plenty of time to deal with them the rest of your day. This is your time to pause and really recuperate and restore. Settling into a little bit of silence and really owning your restorative practice. I'm getting ready to come out of this pose now. So bend the knees up, plant the feet on the ground. Maybe the best way to come out of this is just to press your forearms in the ground. Gently lift your head up onto one hand, come onto the other hand, and come to a seated position. Okay, so you're just going to pop everything out of your way there. We're going to come all the way down to constructive rest, just to feel a neutral lying down on the ground. So feeling how nice it feels, even though the chest opening is lovely. It can be feel lovely sometimes just to feel the support of the ground then underneath here, and just to feel what a neutral spine feels like again. So let's lengthen the legs out again. Maybe tilt the pelvis forward and back a little bit. I know you're kind of limited there, but just until you find a natural curve of your back, maybe even sliding the flesh of your buttocks away a little bit. Lifting those hip bones up and back until there's just a little bit of space underneath there. So slide your hand over. So that's the natural curve of your back. Hands facing up. And just feeling for neutral symmetry left and right here. And then let's bend the knees and do our windscreen wipes for the legs again. So bring your arms into cactus position for this one. And let both knees drop to the left-hand side. See, can you keep the right arm planted there and the right shoulder planted? Reach that right hip away from you now. Feel that lovely stretch through the right side of the body. Breathe into the right side of the body. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center again, and then exhale, just gently, slowly dropping the knees to the right-hand side. See, can you keep that left arm planted? Keep the left shoulder planted. If that's not an option, pop a blanket. So get used to the idea of popping extra bits of support under you if you need them. So if there's anything floating in space, pop a blanket underneath it. Reach that left hip away from you now, down towards the bottom right corner of your mat. Feel the breath now in the left side of the body. Take a deep breath here. Inhale back up to center again. So we're going to get ready for our Shavasana. So what I thought we might do for Shavasana today, seeing as we've got lovely chest opening going on, pop the bolster underneath the knees, and then we're going to make a neck roll and a little bit of a lift underneath the chest as well. So I'll show you the neck roll. So your neck roll is going to be a, let's see, what will we do it with the fourfold, or fold it over again. So you've got your fourfold and fold it over one more time. And then pop the blanket at the top of your mat and just roll it once or twice there. It doesn't need much, just remembering we're just looking to fill the space at the back of our neck there. We're not trying to lift it in any way at all. Okay, so you might need to come back to that. Mine's unraveling. And then what we want underneath our shoulder blades is a really low lift. So have your blanket as low as you can make it. So it might need to be long, maybe your fourfold and then fold it in four, or even just fold it in two. So it's just a small lift underneath the back there. We're coming into mountain brook. So you're thinking of the body, it's like the water that's bubbling over the brook or the stones in the river. Okay, so getting the legs underneath the bolster there. Your blanket is just underneath your shoulder blades. And then your neck roll is just tucked in underneath that lovely curve of our skull there that we were pressing into with our fish pose. Now you want to have a little bit of space between the neck roll and that blanket underneath your shoulders and underneath your shoulder blades there. So that there's a little bit of space for the shoulders to drop down so you get the full curve action of the pose. Okay, so the neck roll, just filling the space between the neck and the ground. This roll here, or this blanket folded here, it's just a little bit of a lift for the upper chest. It's not bringing you into a huge chest opening, but it's just continuing on the theme of the chest opening. And then the bolster underneath the knees so that the body is just rippling over the props. Palms facing up, a little bit of space between the body and the arms. Maybe even the arms are resting on that nice soft blanket. And just scanning through your whole body. Let's start from the tips of our toes and work our way all the way up to the tip of our crown. Checking in to see, is there anywhere that still is holding the remnants of activity of some of the poses, and making sure that we're encouraging everything to really absorb the practice and let it go. So toes gently relaxing, backs the heels on the ground, backs the knees supported by your bolster, backs the hips grounded on your mat, upper thighs softening, no tension held. Hip bones feel equally planted on the mat. left and right. Lower back gently lifting off the ground. Upper back gently taking the support of your folded blanket. Softening through the shoulders, the jaw, skin across the cheekbones, soft as silk. Space between the temples, silky skin across the forehead, the whole body melting and relaxing into the last few minutes of your practice here. Can you make your body, because of the muscles being so soft and relaxed, can it feel grounded into the surface underneath it? And yet at the same time, a lightness to it. Gentle breath, breathing through your whole body now. Even though you might just feel the breath through the respiratory system, know that each breath is feeding every cell in your body. Now getting ready to come back into your day, bringing a little bit of movement into your fingertips and your toes. Maybe even taking a longer breath here. Maybe expanding your inhale, which is the invigorating, oxygenating part of the breath. And rolling over to your right hand side. And in your own time, as energy efficiently as possible, keeping a little bit of this relaxation that you've cultivated coming up to a comfortable seated position. Hands in prayer position at your heart. Eyes closed, gaze so soft. Remembering all those little muscles, little micro muscles that we've softened in our face, and come back to them. Thumbs to your third eye, to your lips, to your heart center. Namaste. And thank you for practicing with me. So see you again next week. So next week we will be working on the legs.